Now from the Fema Command Center in Baton Rouge. Thank you, sir, for joining us. I understand that security isn't your job. I understand that you're up against tremendous obstacles. But how can it be that hundreds and hundreds of thousands of victims have not received any food and water more than 100 hours after Katrina hit?
Paula, I think it's so important for the American public to understand exactly how catastrophic this disaster is. I mean, we have a major American city, a major urban area that has been totally demolished. And what we're finding is that as we continue to do the evacuation and get people out, people who have completely lost everything, they have no place to go, they have nothing, that we're finding other people who are literally coming out of second stories of homes. They're suddenly appearing on bridges that are not underwater. That people who were unable or chose not to evacuate are suddenly appearing. And so this catastrophic disaster continues to grow. I will tell you this, though. Every person in that convention center, we just learned about that today. And so I have directed that we have all available resources to get to that convention center to make certain that they have the food and water, the medical care that they need.
Sir, you're not telling me
those bodies that are there.
Sir, you're not telling me you just learned that the folks at the convention center didn't have food and water until today, are you? You had no idea they were completely cut off?
Paula, the federal government did not even know about the convention center people until today. We have been doing the evacuations from the Superdome for several days. We're taking people out from the Superdome to Houston and San Antonio. The people in the Superdome have been fed. There are convoys of trucks moving food in there to feed them even tonight. We're taking the Coast Guard and we're taking care of the people who have just appeared on the bridges and the interstates to get them water tonight. We're doing all of those things. Those people have suddenly appeared. And I got to tell you, the snipers, the thugs, those people, I have the First Army at my disposal. General Honore is here. There will be 30,000 National Guard troops in New Orleans. I am going to take control of that, and we are going to make certain that this city is safe and that that poor mother that has the children, that family unit that's just trying to get to a shelter, they're going to be protected. That's the President's demand, the American public demands it, and we're going to do it.
And what about a situation like you just heard at Charity Hospital tonight, where they were in the process of evacuating patients, and they were told once they got those critically ill patients in a boat, put them on the boat, that the boat had to be sent back because where it was being dispatched to was underwater as well, and there wasn't any reasonable place to leave them off?
And that is a great example, unfortunately a great example, of how catastrophic this disaster is. That we may have a place that we're going to take critically ill patients and suddenly it's not there and we have to change plans on the fly. That's how devastating this is, and that's why we're bringing in the National Guard. That's why the Coast Guard will continue to run missions all night with night vision. That's why the First Army is here. That's why the American public needs to understand exactly how catastrophic this situation is in New Orleans.
And finally tonight, sir, you said earlier today that part of the blame for what you think will be an enormous death toll in New Orleans rests with the people who did not evacuate the city, who didn't heed the warnings. Is that fair to blame the victims, many of whom tell us they had no way out, they had no cars of their own, and that public assistance wasn't provided to get them out of the city?
First of all, Paula, I'm not blaming anyone. I think if you listen to what I said that some either chose not to evacuate and some were unable to evacuate. And my heart goes out to even if they chose not to evacuate, my heart still goes out to them because they now find themselves in this catastrophic disaster. Now is not the time to be blaming. Now is the time to recognize that whether they chose to evacuate or chose not to evacuate, we have to help them.
And we wish you tremendous luck in that process. Mike Brown, thank you so much for being with us. Joining me now on the